Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, Friday, September 9th, 2019. This is the first complete week that we are putting together a podcast edition of the Daily Space. If you are unable to catch us live and don't want to deal with the chaos that comes with Twitch and get a good clean read later in the day, check us out. Currently, you can find us on dailyspace.org, and soon we will be in all your favorite places to get a podcast. And if you have friends who listen to podcasts and kind of make fun of this place we love and call Twitch, point the podcast out to them as well. You never know who needs a daily dose of science. Okay, so I'm your host, Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brains. Most Mondays through Fridays, either I or my co-host Annie Wilson will be here bringing you a quick rundown of all that is new in space and astronomy. Tomorrow, Annie is going to be the one here as she brings you a rundown on all our spacecraft news. This is giving me my notes for last Friday. Pardon me for a moment while I try and figure out why I'm being sabotaged by my iPad. Dear iPad, do you not love me? I keep promising you that I'm going to figure out how to do this without technical difficulties, and the answer seems to be the technology hates me. Hates me. It knows that I started a podcast, and because I started a podcast, it wants to make sure I suffer. I don't understand its logic. I just know this is the way it is. This is the way it is. I am hated by my technology. Okay, let's try importing the file again. Yes, okay, now I have the correct file. Now maybe it will let me bring it to you. I was wondering why the date was wrong. All right. So, thank you for the bits of support for all my fail. Oh, Eddie, come here. Eddie's like, I heard it. I heard the magical noise. Did you hear the magical noise? Do you want a treat? Come on up. Come on up. See, we will thank you for your goodness with treats. You're a good boy. Okay, go ahead. Go away. I'm going to do the news now. Good boy. Okay, so last Friday, after we were done recording for the day, the Indian Space Research Organization, or ISRO, attempted to land their Vikram lander in the southern polar region of the moon. With the lander still 2 kilometers from the surface, contact was lost with the mission, and very quickly internet pundits started saying that based on the telemetry that had been on the broadcast up until that moment, they estimated that the spacecraft was off course and going faster than it should be. Over the weekend, ISRO scientists and engineers have worked hard to see if they could find their little lander and make contact with it once again. So far, there has been nothing but radio silence, but the little lander was found by the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter, and it's been, unfortunately, not an image that has been shared, so I can't show you that right now. I can show you, this is what it was supposed to have looked like. An ISRO official has been quoted by the India Times as saying, "It had a hard landing very close to the planned site, as per the images sent by the onboard camera of the orbiter." That's Chandrayaan-2. The lander is there as a single piece, not broken into pieces. It is in a tilted position. At this time, ISRO continues to try and make contact with their rocket, with their lander, but so far they haven't been successful. At this point, though, I would like to switch over to showing you an amazing video that comes to us via Indian Times. Pardon me while I switch scenes for a moment. So, in this video, Come on, transition. Oh man, they seem to have permissions on the video that aren't letting me switch. Let me try this again. So, what is going on? Here we go. Let me restart this. I apologize for the audio confusion you're getting. So, what was really amazing to me about that video was India built this spacecraft on their own. This was, I'm sorry, I'm having a problem. There we go. Why won't you go away, video? Stop. There we go. India built this spacecraft completely on their own. This was entirely Indian made, Indian produced, Indian manufactured spacecraft bits. And to see Indian Prime Minister Modi comforting the heartbroken Chief Sivan after this failure, first with a handshake, and then when he saw the chief crying, that grandfatherly chest backing hug, that's compassion that we can all learn from. I don't always agree with Prime Minister Modi's politics, but that kindness is something that we need to spread. In a moment of failure, and in a global community where NASA's motto that failure is not an option permeates just about everything, we've become used to engineers and politicians meeting failure with a declaration that there will be an investigation and an implication that someone will be held responsible. The reality is, sometimes shit just happens. Space is hard. And we need to accept that failure is part of exploration and learn from these failures and just move on out into the solar system. So we feel you, Israel. We hope that you somehow get a hold of your little tilted lander on the surface. But if you don't, we're still proud of you. And Chandrayaan-2 is going to do amazing science from its completely unique orbit around the moon. Okay, so space is hard. And space is sometimes hard in really unexpected ways. For me, the biggest how do we not know this yet question is, how do we not know the length of Saturn's day? This is a real problem. We have no idea. Well, we have something of an idea of how long it takes for Saturn to rotate. And the thing is, we've been looking at Saturn from the ground for 100 years. We looked at it with Cassini for hundreds of orbits. Sorry, I'm still recovering from a cold. And we still don't precisely know how fast Cassini rotates. This is a complex problem having to do with the fact that this is a cloudy world, and those bands of clouds all rotate at different rates. And as we know from our own planet Earth, you can't judge a planet's rotation from the rate at which its clouds go round and round the world. With Jupiter, we bypassed these cloud-related issues by looking at its radio emission, which is related to its electromagnetic fields. But with Saturn, its fields aren't as strong, and that hasn't been a good solution. I'm going to cough again. This is another reason for you to listen to our podcast. So when Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 got to Saturn, they looked at its electromagnetic fields, they looked at its radio emission, and they came up with a rotation period of about 10 hours and 40 minutes, which isn't bad. But when Cassini looked to refine that measurement, it found a difference of 6 minutes between the measurements, between its measurements and Voyager's measurements. So either Saturn's rotation rate changed by 6 minutes, or there's other physics indicating that the radio emission isn't a clean reflection of the rotation, and we need to take other factors into consideration. Well, that new physics may have finally been found. In a new paper in the Journal of Geophysical Research, Space Physics, a team from Birmingham Southern College has pointed out that the tilt of Saturn, which is more than 25 degrees, is a whole lot greater than Jupiter's. Jupiter is basically vertical. And the seasonal effects of the amount of ultraviolet light hitting its atmosphere could be changing how the plasma in the atmosphere creates a drag on the world's electromagnetic fields and changes how those radio emissions are, well, emitted. This is complex physics, but so far the models that they're developing are able to explain the seasonal differences that we've been experiencing in our observations. And this could be the model that allows us to eventually figure out just how long a day is on Saturn. So maybe we'll see. Every year, someone new comes out and says, "We have solved this problem." I'm hopeful this time. Now, from one weird problem to another, I would like to introduce you to a math problem that you didn't know was going to amuse you. At least I didn't think would amuse anyone until I finally read it. For reasons that I can't explain, mathematicians in 1954 set out to figure out what three numbers, when individually cubed and summed together, would add up to all of the numbers between 1 and 100. The numbers they added together could be positive or negative, and this makes sense since 2 cubed plus 3 cubed plus 4 cubed is 99. And to get anything smaller than 99, something is going to have to be subtracted. Well, apparently since 1954, mathematicians have been plugging away trying to solve this problem. And as of 2019, only 2 numbers still needed a solution. And those numbers were 33 and 42. Now, inspired by a YouTube video on numberphilia, Andrew Booker solved for 33 earlier this year, and that left the Douglas Adams quote-inspiring 42 as the only solution that lacked an equation. And in math, life, the universe, and everything can't be cubed and summed. What can be cubed is numbers. And the thing that can cube them is supercomputers. Booker, determined to see this problem finish, reached out to MIT mathematician Andrew Sutherland. Sutherland is an expert in massively parallelized computation, and together they enlisted the aid of Charity Engine. This is an initiative that may remind you of the old SETI at Home program, where they reach out and find unused CPU and GPU cycles and figure out how to get them used to solve computational problems. With the help of more than 1 million hours of volunteered computer time from over 500,000 computers, Andrew were able to find that those three numbers, that can be cubed and summed to get 42. Are you ready for the answer? I'm not at all sure I'm ready to try and say the answer, but I'm going to try. I'm going to drink some water first. So those three numbers that when cubed and summed get you 42, here we go. Negative 80 quadrillion, 538 trillion, 738 billion, 812 million, 75,974 cubed, plus 80 quadrillion, 435 trillion, 758 billion, 145 million, 817,515 cubed, plus 12 quadrillion, 602 trillion, 123 billion, 297 million, 335,631 cubed. All those numbers summed together. That's 42. And there you have it. Here is to hoping that the mice are happy with the question 42 is the answer to. And that rounds out all of our news for today. I would like to remind you that I will stick around to answer your questions. Please go ahead and type them in and at CosmoQuestX. While you're typing them in, here's the wall of text. We are a production of the Planetary Science Institute. Thank you for the bits. We are. Do you want a treat? Ow. Hi. You would really like a treat. You may not eat my pencil. Come here. Come on up. Hi. I know this greatly interests you. Hi. You're a good boy. Yeah, good boy. We are a production of the Planetary Science Institute, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University. The Planetary Science Institute is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are a show that is put together by many different people. Myself and Annie Wilson take turns at the host's desk, and Susie Murph is behind the scenes herding the cats and making sure that everything gets produced on time. And this includes making sure that every episode gets archived over on youtube.com/c/channel. Thank you so much for the sub, DSB324. Thank you so much. Come here, Eddie. Come on up. I'm going to run out of treats today. Yes, I am. Here you go. Such a good boy. We are supported by you. We are able to pay Annie and Susie a living wage thanks to the generous contributions of all of you. From bits to subs to your patronage over on patreon.com. All of it adds together to make this show happen. This month here on twitch.tv, it is September. If you would like to take part, well, I'm not going to stop you. And we have a sub goal that appears, actually, it appears over there. That's where it appears. I don't always green screen as well as I would like. We are up to 7 September subs. We'd love to see that number hit 50 by the end of the month, and we can only do it with you. So please get the word out. Oh, Eddie is stealing dog bones. Please get the word out and help. That's all I've got. That is all I have gotten. So I'm going to scroll back and see what questions we have. Welcome, Sully Two Cats. Hello, Rosaria. Rose. Hello, Ruffsmat. Hello, DPI209. Hello, Veronica Cure. Hello, Wayne Johnson. Hello, Astro Wise. Hello, Paranor. Hello, Susie. Yeah, I totally lied about the day of the week at the beginning of this episode. That goes with the whole failure to have the correct script. Sorry about that. Okay. Looking to see what all I have here. Oh, it's I also panicked binary ablaze. I didn't mean to. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Sorry. You'll have her on Wednesday. I lied. I didn't mean to lie. I just don't know when I am. Thank you so much for the bits. Who am I thanking? Thank you, Trekker Kev. Thank you. You gonna come here again? Coming up. Oi. Hi. I love you too. I love you. Yes. Do you want this? Okay. Good boy. Is that a purple bear dapping? Yes, that does appear to be a purple bear dapping. DPI 209, we need to know more about that emote. Someday I will get everything correct. Someday. Today is not that day. Thank you, Wayne Johnson, for the bits. Yeah, Susie commented, she's a day late in the notes and a day early for Annie. Yeah, Monday facepalm. Truly a Monday facepalm. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. I normally have 2, and then I took cough meds. I don't know if any of that is a sufficient answer. This is why I write scripts, people. This is why I write scripts. Okay, scrolling down. Yes, I have an Eddie here today. Thank you, DSB 324, for the sub once again. I'm not seeing any questions. Are there no questions? Hello, Rickety Cat. Hello, Hanny's Vorverp. There are no questions. You had 2 hexacorin. Okay, let me scroll up. Hexacorn is asking, why is my screen turning white? That I can't tell you. Eddie just scared himself with a broom. That I know of, I am not in high contrast mode. I am in high sinus congestion mode. Thank you for the sub. Thank you, Corona Sandwich, for the sub. You have a very cool username. Come on up. Hi. Hi. Do you like this idea? Hi. Hi. I know. You are very good. You are very, very good. Okay, looking to see if I can find hexacorons. Question. Any chance one of those numbers represents the number of atoms in the universe? No, the number of atoms in the universe is far, far greater. I'm very sorry. Okay, scrolling down. So hexacoron is also asking, can we get at the rotation rate of Saturn from the amount of equatorial bulge it has? Not precisely. It just doesn't quite work that way. So what he's getting at is most of the planets are what are called oblate spheres. They're slightly flattened because their rotation rate is causing the atoms to not want to swing that hard left as the planet rotates, and their momentum is pushing the outer part of the world out, while centripetal force pushes things in. And that balance in forces isn't precise enough to get us at the rotation rate. And can a gas giant even have a definable rotation rate? Yes, but only for certain things. So like we can get at the rotation rate of what is driving the dynamo of Jupiter that is leading to the radio emissions that we see, and we clock that in as the world's rotation rate. It's not precise. It's only for a certain thing. And the problem with putting a buoy in Saturn's atmosphere to try and get at its rotation rate is the same problem as putting a balloon in our Earth's atmosphere, and that's that meteorological factors drive what's happening at the upper levels of the atmosphere. So you really want to get down to a layer where you're no longer dealing with meteorology, but you're dealing with more like planetary geophysics driving what's going on with the world. While Saturn and Jupiter don't have the rocky solidness that we're accustomed to at the surface of Earth, they do have those metallic-like cores that aren't too different from what our Earth has. And those are the layers where we start to get at what is the rotation rate. So just like the Earth's magnetic field rotates at the same rate as our planet, we assume that the magnetic fields of other worlds are going to rotate at the same rate as the planet. It would get messy if the Earth's North Pole didn't move as if it were tied to the surface of the world. So Larry asks, does gas giant rotation vary by altitude as well as latitude? As far as we suppose, yes. We can see a bit into deeper layers of these worlds by looking in different colors of light, but it's imprecise. So sort of, kind of, maybe, just like with the Earth, we think. More data is needed. More data is really needed. Okay, do we have any more questions on this Monday that is turning out to be completely full of fail on this Twitch stream? I am so sorry, everyone. If not, I am going to point out that we do a lot of different things around here. And one of the things that I'm working on doing right now is coding up our CosmoQuest website. DPI 209 has been giving us some help. Others have been helping out as well. Our code is public domain. We're in the process of doing a massive, complete rewrite of everything. So it's a little bit topsy-turvy, wibbly wobbly at the moment. But as time allows, I will be, Twitch streaming while I code. My to-do list today is probably a little bit too full for that to happen, but you never know. So here on this channel, we cover that. We also have on Sundays, Annie is here doing image processing for the Sunday Science Hour. And we also bring you launches, landings, and other events as we can. So give us a follow if you haven't. Follows are free. And be here whenever we go live with whatever we go live. Now, I would very much like to go cough my brains out somewhere other than on Twitch. I'm so sorry. So I am going to remind all of you that we are, produced by you. Not produced by you. We're produced by Susie Murph. We are brought to you by you. We are sustained by your bits, your subs, your patronage over on patreon.com. If you'd like to help us out, please consider a sub. It is September, and we will stretch what you give absolutely as far as we can. Now, this is me realizing I can't see as far across the room as where our credits are. And there's a fly down here. So I'm currently trying to be able to start. It all hates me today. Everything hates me today. Annie, can you start the credits? I can't find the button from here. Thank you, Annie. She'd already started it. She's a glorious human being. So I'm Dr. Pamela Gay. Mondays are full of fail. I currently hate everything in pants, but I love all of you, and Eddie loves you too. I will be back tomorrow, and hopefully things will be less full of fail. I'm now going to go cough somewhere else, and the world will get better. So we are here most Mondays through Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. That is 6 p.m. London time. So wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon, and I will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.